Morning, everybody. Ousted Ukrainian President Yanukovych says he still considers himself the country's legitimate leader. We'll have that and more right here, right now on the News Hub. Good morning and welcome. I'm Simon Constable. And with more on what's happening in the Ukrainian crisis, we have the Wall Street Journal's Greg White live from Moscow. Greg, thank you for joining us.
Nice to be here.
Greg, this is a fast-moving story. We have a statement, or rather, essentially, Yanukovych issued a statement and basically is saying, that he's still there and he thinks these other people who've taken over are not legitimate. Tell us more.
That's right. Yanukovych has been declared by the new government in Kiev as a wanted man for mass murder in the killings of people during the riots, during the uprising last week in Kiev, and he disappeared from public sight back in over the weekend. His last TV interview was on Saturday, but today he resurfaced through a statement issued to 3 Russian news agencies.
Okay, and I think we're going to have this statement now. It says, I quote, "I asked the Russian authorities to ensure my personal safety from the actions of extremists. I officially declare my intention to fight to the end for the implementation of important compromise agreements to bring Ukraine out of deep political crisis." So clearly defiant to the end. Meanwhile, a couple of things have happened that you've been telling us about. One is that the new parliament has been put in place.
That's right. The new parliament has installed a cabinet with a prominent economic official as the acting prime minister to carry the government through till May, when the presidential elections are scheduled. And he and his new team, including a number of people who were prominent demonstrators in the protests that led up to this revolution, are they're going to face a very difficult situation economically in the country with severe debt problems and a collapsing currency.
Okay. And Greg, we also don't know where Yanukovych is right now. That seems to be a major problem. Clearly somebody does, because he got out a statement.
That's right. That's a continuing mystery. Following his statement, there was a comment again on the 3 Russian news agencies, including 2 of them official ones, citing an unnamed Russian source as saying that his request for protection had been approved within Russia. And the way that was phrased, it could be read that he is in fact in Russia at the moment, although there's been no confirmation of that and no one's seen him.
Now, of course, we know that Russian troops in certain places have been put on combat readiness, or they're basically ready to do whatever is ordered from the Kremlin, from Putin. And we also see some gunmen have stormed a parliamentary building in the Crimea. Give us a quick rundown on that.
Right. Crimea is the southern peninsula of Ukraine that was added to Ukrainian territory only in the 1950s by the Soviet leader Khrushchev at the time, and it is the most pro-Russian of the parts of Ukraine. And this morning, very early, a group of armed men took over the local government buildings, the local assembly and the essentially the governor's office, and they haven't made any clear demands, but they've identified themselves as pro-Russian, and they're flying the Russian flag. Kiev officials have vowed to respond and to restore order there, but it's not quite clear exactly how they're going to do that. The population is quite split on the issue of just how close ties to Russia should be.
Okay, this is obviously a very fast-moving story, and we know you'll be all over that story, and we'll have it on WSJ.com and WSJ Live. Thank you very much, Greg White of the Wall Street Journal.